Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We don't need drugs. Who needs drugs? Unused prescriptions, we don't need that. We have our own drug right here. Should I stay or should I go now? Most of you are young adults and you may still have your wisdom teeth, which I still do. Of course, mine are in little bits and pieces now, with the exception of 2 of them, but recently, 2 weeks ago, I had all of my wisdom teeth taken out. It's very controversial whether or not you should get them taken out, but in my particular case, the molars were like this, my wisdom teeth were way down here, pushing against the molars, and I started to feel some aches, and I thought, you know what, it's only going to get worse. So I had them taken out like sauerkraut, and got to keep them, which is really sweet. I'm doing a giveaway. This channel has been doing very well, and the giving people what I find in dumpsters for Christmas video is doing really good. And so I'm giving away, I've had these forever, I can't give them away. No. As far as eating them, no, you thought I would, I don't know, it's sickos, and what about one of the top ones? So this video is geared toward especially those who are considering local anesthesia only. There are a few reasons why I decided to go that route. I didn't want to get high, that's the main one. Did not want to be high. I wanted to leave the oral surgeon's office by myself, no one else. I wasn't high, I was totally fine, I drove perfectly fine. But I didn't want to admit to something. I've seen the YouTube videos where people, they're high, and I really don't like seeing that. I really don't like seeing people making fun of those who had just gotten wisdom teeth surgery, and they mess with them, and they get them to confess to stuff, and that's not cool at all. Because there was no way I'd be the one saying that I killed a predator in 2014 or something like that. You know, I wasn't, just, no, that's not true. Okay, so, I scheduled an appointment first with the oral surgeon, and this guy was an older guy. He's been doing it for years. He's an expert at giving people oral surgery. And I said, you know, they made me watch this video about like side effects. If you undergo general anesthesia or laughing gas, side effects may include vomiting, death, and I'm like, screw that, I don't want that. And besides, I mean, the cost too, the cost of general anesthesia where you're totally out. You know, I didn't want to. I told the oral surgeon, I said, look, I'd feel much more comfortable awake. And I also said, I don't mind a little pain either, so do what you gotta do. I don't mind a little pain. And he's like, he gave me kind of a weird look, like, ooh, just, you're sick, don't say, we should cut that out. No. But yeah, I told him I think local anesthesia only would suffice. And he said, well, most people, they want to be out of it when we're doing this operation because they don't want to hear the crunching and the drilling and who knows what have you. And I said, yeah, but I don't mind that. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And so I thought, yes, cool. He's all cool because, you know, I did some research before this and I found that some other oral surgeons are kind of apprehensive of doing that to people that are totally awake, because I think some people freak out, like, but when they're on the operating table. But I told them that, yeah, I'm totally cool. I'm a live leaker. I go to a few gory websites every now and then, expose myself to that kind of stuff. And I've seen I joked with him. I said that I tried doing it myself with an X-Acto knife, but I figured I'd let the professionals do the job because I didn't want to get an infection. He'd be like, he said, you'd be surprised. Some people do that. And I said, what? People do? And he's like, yeah, they don't want to pay for it, and so they do it themselves. And the oral surgeon said they end up coming right back to his place. I found that very sad. But he said, yeah, so you don't have to worry about not eating or drinking like before surgery. So come in here, and as long as you have that attitude of happy-go-lucky like you did coming in today, then you'll be totally fine. He told me that most people want to be out. It just says it an anti-anxiety thing. But he said, okay, that's fine. You're not freaked out about that. Okay, good. I'll see you next month. Came in there next month, and really in a good mood. Slightly before 8 o'clock, all the reception in the morning, all the receptionists had just gotten there, and they said, "Wow, you are so happy today, just before surgery. Like, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not self-medicated. I'm not high. I'm just looking forward to this." I said. And then so I sat in the waiting room, and my name was called out, Zach. I said, okay, cool. And I said, how you doing? And she's like, oh, great, how are you? I said, good, good, good. You know, small talk like that. And I said, I'm doing much better now that I'm here. And she said, wow, okay, okay. And then the lady pulled out a cuff. She was going to measure my blood pressure. And I thought, crap, she's going to catch me in a lie. She's going to know I'm not as calm as she thinks. And she said, she pumped me up, and she said, your blood pressure is a little high. And I thought, yeah. Look, it's not every day I undergo this operation. So I was feeling a little nervous, no pun intended. That was about to come later. We were talking, and I said, do people keep their wisdom teeth? And she said, yeah, are you gonna keep yours? I said, yeah, I have a slingshot at home, and I'm running low on ammunition. I would like to use some of that, the teeth as ammunition to people I don't like, and people I like to shoot them with that. And she laughed, and she's like, what, really? By this time, the oral surgeon was in there, and he didn't say anything. He was just like, but I said, yeah, and then I said, no, I said, just joking. And she said, wow, you know what? She told me that she kept her wisdom teeth, and she made like a necklace out of it. And I said, really? Is that right? Really? I thought that was cool. She's a freak like me, I thought. And then she said, no, I'm just joking with you. So I thought, that's funny. So they put these like popsicle stick things in my mouth with some sort of like numbing jelly, they call it. And that was supposed to make me feel a little numb, but it was kind of numb. It just tasted nasty. But it was just prepping up just before the local anesthesia. It's just local anesthesia, what it does, it runs through, it prevents the nerves from sending the message to your brain that there's pain. So you won't feel any pain after it comes into effect. So they said, the nurse told me, the nurse was beside the oral surgeon as they were doing this, one on each side. The nurse said, hey, this is going to hurt, this is going to feel really weird. I said, oh, okay. And then it didn't really hurt as much as it felt weird. It was just the syringe, just huge. It felt like a needle, but like so much like more in diameter. It was and you could feel and you can hear the swishing of the local anesthesia, like pumping inside of you in your mouth. And they're doing it probably like 12 times, like everywhere. And it felt really weird. And I was trying to be as still as possible, right? Because I know that usually when they do this to people, they're like knocked out. But I was very stoic, and the nurse was beside me, and she was holding my arm like this. She's going like this. She's going like, as they were injecting me, she was saying, you're taking this really well. But of course in a female voice. She wasn't talking like a guy like I am. But after that, they left for about 10 minutes, and just for that effect, for the drug to run in there and then make me numb. Because as soon as they injected me, it's not like instant. It had to wait like 10 minutes. So I was just waiting there, and I thought of things. I thought Led Zeppelin was on the radio, and Leonard Skinner was too. And it was nice. I was nice and comfortable. The nurse walked in, and she said, "Are you numb yet?" And by this point, I could feel. Oops, I dropped my teeth. All right, I don't say that all the time. I'll say that when I'm an old man, maybe if I have dentures. She said, "Are you numb yet?" And by this point, my jaw it felt like totally like I felt like a bullfrog, and I wanted to joke. I wanted to mess with her, and I felt I was so close to saying it, but I felt like saying I'm always numb, just to mess with her. But I thought, okay, when I'm going to say that, I'm going to struggle to say that, because it was hard for me to open my mouth and to even talk. It was very difficult because I couldn't feel anything. It was just so numb. And but I wanted to say that so badly, so I thought about it. I always feel numb. Whether or not that's true, I just wanted to mess with her. But I thought, you know what, she's going to end up saying, what was that? And then it'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And then I thought, I'm not going to go there. I just said, uh-huh. Yeah, I'm numb, just with a simple nod of the head. And she said, okay. And then the oral surgeon went in there. He was like, okay, we're gonna get to work here and blah blah blah. He didn't talk much though, but I couldn't feel any pain. I was amazed. He takes out a knife and he slices me way back there, and I didn't feel any pain. You could still feel it, like you knew that the knife was slicing you. And so you could kind of feel it, but at the same time you couldn't feel any pain, and I was amazed. I was like, no kidding, that's insane. This dude just slit me open, and I thought that's so cool. I was amazed at the drug, because I had never experienced a local anesthetic like that. So that was quite impressive. And all of my nervousness and stuff like that, I mean, it's kind of ironic because, no, not ironic, it's just almost poetic that my nervousness just ended as soon as I couldn't feel anything. It just totally took the nerves out of it, and I was like, cool. As soon as he slit me open when he was going to do work, I was totally fine. And it was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. He slit me open, he takes out this tool, and he starts grinding or something, like a little Dremel, and it's like, it's like, holy crap, he's destroying that bad boy. And what he was doing was, the bottom teeth were coming in like that. He slit me open like that, and he had to break it. He had to break the tooth. The tooth wasn't going in straight. It was coming in at a weird angle, so he had to destroy it. So what he did here, if I can put it together here, there you go. Yeah, did I tell you, they found a dog tooth. They found a dog tooth in my gums. I don't know how that got there. No, just kidding. This is one of the bottom wisdom teeth. You see here, it was going in like that, actually. It was going in like this. Right? The gum line was probably like right here at the very top. I mean, I don't know. It was in there. I couldn't see it. It was pushing. And so what he does is he makes that, he does that with a Dremel or something. I don't know what the tool, oops. Dropping my teeth again. And he does that, and then he gets another tool, and he like pries it, and he breaks it. You like the sound effects? And I thought, okay, he just broke my tooth in half. Okay, great. And then he gets these like miniature tong things, and then or whatever it was, and he takes them out. And I couldn't really see it directly. I didn't really want to, but in my peripheral vision, like down below, I could see it. And I thought, wow, dang, that thing is huge. Like, that's pretty cool. And I thought, okay, then well, that's 25% done. And yeah, it was good. He stitched it up and went up to the top. The top ones were coming in pretty. They were diagonal, so they weren't too bad. They weren't like directly like lateral like that. But he takes them out in one piece. He didn't have to destroy those like that. The top ones. And so those went really smoothly. It felt so weird. I couldn't feel any pain, but I was feeling it. I could feel it. I could feel him taking something out of me, and in the pressure was the worst part of it. If there was any worst part of it, it was the pressure. That was the only thing I felt uncomfortable, because when he was breaking my bottom wisdom teeth, there was so much pressure that it almost felt like if you're working on something, if you're reefing really hard with a wrench, you almost feel like, okay, something's gonna break. Not necessarily with a wrench, but like any sort of like tool, to where that you anticipate something breaking, and then your hand just like sliding off of the tool or whatever, and just like causing so much damage. I mean, that's how a lot of my hand injuries are received, is from stuff like that. So I was expecting, like, there's so much pressure, I was expecting something to break, and then his hand like going off to the side and like slicing my cheek open or something. And then I had to remind myself that, okay, this guy's been doing this for years. You know, he's probably done this 1,000 times, way more than that probably. I thought, this is, you know, he knows what he's doing. I'm sure it won't be that reckless. And as soon as the teeth would break, I felt relieved. But the last bottom wisdom tooth, which was the last wisdom tooth he was getting now, they did have some issues with, just because it was so large, and he didn't want to make an incision too big, so he had to, like, it was in there weird. He used the word twisted. He said it was twisted in there, which I don't really like know like what that's supposed to mean. But that came out in like 5 separate pieces. He just broke that into little pieces, and that felt the weirdest, because he was so deep in my gums that it almost felt like he was at the jawbone. Because I don't know, I could feel it. Like, I don't know if the numbness was starting to wear off. It shouldn't have been, but I could feel way down in there he was fooling around, and it felt so weird because I never felt anything like way down in there. And I was like, okay, he's probably near a nerve. It's like, or whatever. I saw the X-rays. I looked at the nerve. My dentist told me, oh, you should be out during this, because if you move and he hits a nerve, then you're screwed. I said, no, I just won't move. but he was in there digging, and that was the weirdest part. And then that came out in 5 pieces. It took a long time for that one. But I mean, it was very good, you know. The oral surgeon, he did his work, and he said, okay, good. I gave him a fist bump. I couldn't really talk so much. I could talk a little bit, you know. You could barely make out what I was saying. Good enough. They're used to hearing people speak that way. They're used to that accent, the wisdom teeth accent, right? Whatever that is. And I dealt with a nurse, and she told me stuff, what to do, what not to do after the surgery. I said, wow, thanks a lot. And she said, you wanted to keep your wisdom teeth, right? I said, sure, yeah. And she said, your wisdom teeth are huge. Like, those are like among the biggest I've ever seen. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep those, thank you. And she put them in a little baggie. Of course, the wisdom teeth didn't come out looking this. If you want to call them clean, there's still some flesh in there. That's why they're kind of yellow. Because, she gave me my wisdom teeth. I said, sweet, thank you very much. And I showed when I was at the receptionist checking out. I wasn't checking her out. When I was checking out, I showed her my wisdom teeth that were all taken out, and I said, check these out. And she was like, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting. Why? I can't believe you showed me that. I thought, lady, you work at an oral surgeon's office. Like, I know you deal with numbers, but I mean, I think they're kind of cool. But I'm biased because they're my teeth. Well, these are the top ones. It's weird because these teeth have never chewed on anything in their lifespan. And if you look, these aren't too big. The bottom ones were bigger, but the bottom ones they had to like destroy. So yeah, it's larger than the darn it. It's larger than the diameter of a penny. That was not a penny dropping. A penny dropping sounds like this. A tooth sounds like this, and it won't break. These teeth are actually really, really heavy. They're so dense, and I was surprised like amount of pressure that had to be taken to break these. The bottom ones are completely shredded, or well, one of them, the little pieces. Now this is, if you're a Canadian, I'm sorry for having seen this penny. Actually, I have a Canadian penny for y'all. Yeah, you haven't seen one of these in a while, have you? No, you haven't. Make believe. No, you don't remember what that looks like, do you? It's weird seeing teeth that never chewed on anything. These are brand new teeth. They have never been used. These are brand new teeth. And never chewed on anything, these bad boys. Isn't that cool? Maybe I should change that. Maybe I should like put them here and then just to say that, yeah, I chewed something on after I had them taken out. But no, they stuffed me with gauze, and they said, all right, Mr. Swears, yeah, have a nice day. And I thought, thank you. And I said that, I expressed myself, but it was hard to. It was so hard to talk. But I remember when I got out of the oral surgeon's office, I think an elderly couple heard me showing off my wisdom teeth to the receptionist. And so when I went to exit the building, I had to go through the lobby, and when I was in the lobby, the older couple like looked at me and they looked nervous, almost as if right before they were going to get surgery. And I just gave them a thumbs up, like, okay, you know, just to lighten the mood a little bit. I drove home perfectly fine. Of course, I wasn't high, so that wasn't an issue. But before they sent me on my way, the nurse said, okay, we're giving you a prescription. You're probably going to need it because like your teeth were huge, and it required a little bit more of slicing and digging. And so they wrote me a couple of prescriptions, one for Norco, which is an opioid, and also penicillin, which is an antibiotic. But about the Norco thing, it's a really heavy-duty painkiller to treat moderate to severe pain. I mean, it was good. It was all good. When I went home, I wasn't in any pain because the local anesthesia was still in effect. And I just got on the computer, did coding like all day. But the pain started to kick in when the local anesthesia started wearing off about 3 hours after surgery, and the pain was bad. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't feel good, and it was not a little pain. It was quite a bit of pain, but it was bearable. You just had to think of something. I just thought of other stuff, and of course I was working, so it wasn't like I was doing nothing. It was like, oh, I'm hurting. No, I was busy. So just if you're in pain like that, just keep yourself busy. or take like an aspirin or something. But the pain was weird because the pain only lasted for like 5 hours, and then it stopped. There was absolutely no pain after that, with the exception of like eating or drinking, because then you have to use your mouth, and then the water gets in the wounds, and yeah, it hurts. But with exceptions to that, the pain wasn't there, and it was amazing. But the bleeding lasted a long time. I mean, I was just spitting up blood and blood, so much blood. But I had gauze and stuff like that, so I was trying to control it. But there was a lot of blood, and I was doing so good. The bleeding finally stopped at about probably about 12 hours after surgery. And I thought, cool. And then so I was talking to a few people. I could barely talk, but they made me laugh, and I started laughing, and it was hurting because I was laughing and moving my. It was so hard to contain myself, and that resumed the bleeding. I thought, darn it, because I started feeling the blood, and blood is a very interesting taste. It has a very thick taste to it. It actually tastes pretty good. But I wouldn't order it at the restaurant or anything like that. It's not. I don't like it that much. But I could feel it, and I thought, darn it, I was trying to sleep, and I could feel the blood. So but you know, the prescription, I have an unused prescription. It's weird because when I was looking at the side effects of this drug, the painkiller, it said like side effects may include also, and it talked about like high dependence on the drug you could get really addicted to it. I thought, yeah, I'll not take that drug. But part of me thought about, man, I could get this prescription and sell the pills on the streets. But no, I'm not a criminal. I wouldn't do that. Do not do that, by the way. But and it really stinks because if someone it even hurt to smile, like if someone told a joke or something like that. I dealt with people. I didn't, and it's cool because my work doesn't revolve around talking to people orally, so I'm very fortunate in that. But it does hurt if you were to talk a lot, and when you eat, you can't open your mouth all the way, and I didn't do that. I had to refrain from doing that. And you know, I don't mind a little pain. I didn't want any painkillers, because if I was doing something to my teeth that was messed up, that would cause harm to my body, I wanted my body to say, hey, that's messing you up. Don't do that again. You know, that's tearing apart this again. Don't do that. So I wanted that message to be sent. So when I was eating, you know, if I opened my mouth up a little too much or something, I would feel the pain, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing that again. I remember I broke my arm when I was 11, like right here, like 2 inches away from the shoulder, and when I broke my arm, I fell. I didn't break it, by the way. I didn't do it on purpose. Like, I myself didn't break it. Gravity did. I was in a tree, and then the branch broke, and I fell, and it stunk because it was only like 12 feet. But it stinks because I've fallen from much higher without breaking anything. But I landed on my arm this time, so so that kind of stinks. I didn't have bragging rights to say I fell like 25 feet or anything like that. But I fell on my arm when I was 11, and it broke, and I felt no pain at all. There was no pain. I was just dizzy. I was on the ground. I was like, whoa. And I just felt really dizzy, lightheaded. And I thought, okay, that was okay. Like, why am I so dizzy? And I got up, and I still felt no pain. But I discovered, though, within the next minute, I discovered that if I were to raise my arm, put it up a little bit, yeah, baby. I discovered that if I were to raise my arm like this, right about here, I could raise it, and then after that, my arm would just fall. It would just fall. I would be like this, and then it would just fall. And I was like, what the heck? I don't understand this. What in the world? I'm feeling absolutely nothing. It's almost like if it just shut down. My arm just gave up. And I was like, what the heck? And I thought, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm in gym class. I'm going to pretend that I'm doing jumping jacks in gym class. So it was like this. I was going like that. It was like, even though I was, with the muscles and everything, I was going up. The thing what I didn't know about was, the arm was broken. So when I would go like this, the arm would fall, but the bone would still go up. My humerus bone what's left of it, like 2 inches of it, would still go up. It was like this. It was like that. And I was like, what the heck? And then so I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to tell my parents. And so I said, Mom, Dad, like, my arm is kind of like screwed up. And they said, what? I said, I can't. When I raise it, it falls. And this is totally on subject. I went to the emergency room, and they took an x-ray, and they said, your arm's broken. And I said, what? My arm's broken? Are you kidding me? And they're like, oh no, here's the x-ray. And it was like a complete break, and there was like fragments everywhere and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, okay, how come I don't feel any pain? Shouldn't that hurt? And they said, yeah, your body's in shock. It was way too much for your body to handle at the time. So your body just like shut off. Like as far as on the nervous system, it's like it's too much, just gone. And that's why you're not feeling any pain right now. I said, okay, when will I start to feel pain? And like, you'll feel it probably pretty soon. Like, okay. And then I get home and the pain starts kicking in. And all they did, I mean, you can't cast something way up here, so they couldn't cast it. It stunk. All they gave me was a sling and said, and Vicodin. They gave me Vicodin, and I needed that, but it didn't work for me. Like, I thought it would work, like a painkiller, Vicodin, it had no effect on me other than making me like a little nauseous. But it didn't take the pain away. I always felt pain. The pain was so bad, and if my body told me that, hey, if my body felt the pain initially, it would be like, okay, dude, your arm is screwed up. Don't move it. Don't touch it. Don't pretend to do jumping jack. You're carrying it up, you know. And but I didn't get that message, and I really screwed myself because I didn't feel any pain. So pain is a good thing. Pain is a really good thing. I feel much better now, and actually I feel lighter. Like my jaw area feels much lighter. But I don't know if that's just placebo or not. But feeling this, I mean, I know it is much lighter, but I feel lighter. I don't know. It's interesting. So in closing, it's really not that bad. Getting your wisdom teeth taken out while awake. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's one of those things, don't dread it. It's just one of those things where you just gotta do it. And I actually enjoyed it. I want to do it again. I can't do it again. It sounds a lot worse than the actual experience. I mean, it really does. Like, there was blood. I remember in my peripheral vision, I saw blood like squirting out. But it was only from the little suction thing because there's going to be a lot of blood that they have to get rid of to know what they're doing so they can see. I was thinking about when they were doing it to my teeth, when they're taking them out, I was thinking about all sorts of things, but mainly I was thinking about, okay, where are they at now, because I thought it was interesting. But you can, some people, they wear headphones or earphones and they listen to whatever to keep your mind off that. I wanted to hear what was going on. I like being in control. I wanted to feel what's going on, but I couldn't feel much. But I was thinking about baseball and Oldsmobiles. I was thinking about all sorts of things. I was thinking about the nurse too. The nurse, when she left, she said, "Thank you for being such a good patient." And it felt good having two people. I mean, the oral surgeon doing his thing, and then also it felt good having another person on my side, the nurse. That felt good. I don't know. I asked the nurse for her number. I mumbled it, and she said 120/80. I said, cool, mine's a little higher than that at the moment. Let's see if you can see my wounds. Take this out. How does the oral surgeon see that? Oh!